Hey kids, this is Aaron from the podcast that wouldn't die, and Kevin and I use Zencastr. You think you're better than us, that you're using something else? You're wrong. Zencastr's the place to be. Who are you to deny it?
It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code DIEHARD and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time for you to share your story.
Only a fool will give up a chance for a 30% discount.
The city of Milan is known for its beautiful women.
What's my little sister up to?
Racing to the runway. I'll be out of here in about an hour. Dinner's at 7. Love you.
Love you too.
But someone is preying on them.
What we got here? Another body, mutilation of the face, early 20s, appears to be our guy. His intentions were clear. He hates beautiful things.
Welcome to the latest episode of the podcast that wouldn't die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
Hey.
This week, we're discussing the horror classic Giallo, starring Adrian Brody, Emmanuel Seignier, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, Elsa Pataki.
I mean, it's correct if he's French.
Emmanuel Seignier is French and a woman. How about that?
There you
How
go.
about that?
How about them apples?
How about that apples? And I recognized her immediately. And I was like, what do I recognize her from? The answer is, back in 1986, if I'm remembering correctly, she was in a Harrison Ford. Back then, she was in the Harrison Ford Roman Polanski movie, Frantic. Do you remember Frantic?
I did not see it. I'm trying to think of the last Roman Polanski film I saw. I think it was Tess of the Dubervilles.
It could have been.
With Natasha Kinski, where he was bedding her down, too.
I believe he did. What was that movie? Was it The Pianist? Was that Roman Polanski?
And he did Chinatown. I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, but that Chinatown was earlier, obviously.
No.
But yes, this was Harrison Ford. His wife's been abducted in France, and he does not know anybody. So a young Parisian woman helps him along the way. And she was like,
because again, in all these movies, you can't just go to the police.
Can't do it. He tries.
You need to find random people to just help you.
When you're in Paris, if you try to speak English to anybody, they will spit on you. They just spit on you. It's how they roll in Paris. I'm not saying the whole country. I'm saying Paris.
I found people were very friendly.
Very friendly, but they were cursing your name in French. That's all I'm saying.
I was listening for my 3 French swear words. But...
merde? That's the only one I know.
That's it. That's all I know.
I can say shit in multiple languages.
Yeah.
Scheiße, merde, mierda. So, there you go. That's shit. Anyway.
I feel like you can swear in all the Romance languages and German.
I think you're right. 100%. Each week on the podcast that wouldn't die, we've discussed guilty pleasures and forgotten classics of the horror and sci-fi genres with a comedic twist. Aaron, how you doing? What's the latest with you?
My latest obsession is the band Kneecap. I find these things and then TikTok just keeps showing me videos of the same song over. So I had to listen to it when the children were not around, of course.
Are they Irish? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Or is it something else?
It's all part of my greater Irishness.
So you have become Irish just like our brother. Is that what you're saying?
Just like our brother. I'm Irish adjacent.
Irish,
I mean,
100%.
I think our family came like before the famine. We've been here for like 200 years. We are so less Irish than everyone else.
I agree. Yet our youngest brother has determined not just the county, the town, but the street that he calls home. back in Belfast or someplace. So there you go.
Jesus. Well, it happens. You marry into a culture, and now suddenly that's your culture.
That's not what he
I'm gonna
did,
say
though.
this because my friend doesn't listen to our podcast. Uh, her family's Scandinavian, and she married a Latin gentleman and was doing this whole Latin thing. And her mom's like, "Is our culture going to be represented at all at your wedding?" And she's like, "No."
Well, are they Scandinavian from Scandinavia, or are they like, I'm
Well,
from
her
Minnesota?
husband was not from Mexico. His father was not from Mexico. I don't know how many generations back we're going on that side either.
Fair. These are important questions we don't know the answers to.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Indeed,
Worse is
indeed.
our brother, who, like our grandmother, I guess grandmother at least was close. I think her parents actually came from the old country.
Is that true? I don't even know if that's true. What's the old country? France? Unclear.
On mom's side of the family, I believe both her parents, both of our grandparents' parents.
The Shaughnessy wing is what you're talking about. Is that correct?
Well, it's the Shaughnessy's, because we all know that the Phoenixes came via Australia, and we all know what that means.
Truth be told,
Criminals
preach.
expelled from the old country.
Even Australia's like, you need to go. You're
They're
too
like,
much
"Nah,
for us.
too
No
much.
kidding.
We're dropping you off in San Francisco."
100%. Now, Aaron, this movie, Giallo, was actually your choice. I had never even heard of it. So do you want to talk about what possessed you?
I had never heard of it either. But I figured we like Giallo.
Yes.
Adrian Brody, he's like an actor.
He is like an actor.
I really didn't even know until after I suggested this was an Argento. And then after I'd committed, I did 2 seconds of research and realized, oh shit.
You're like my wife, where I'll come in and she's flipping through Amazon Prime and like, oh, hey, it's that new Alec Baldwin movie, straight to streaming that no one's heard of. Why are we choosing to watch this?
Alec Baldwin movie with
What is?
Hilaria. She's so hilarious.
Hilaria. Exactly. So
yeah. This is my bad. That's all I can say. It's my bad. It's my fault.
And I remember Polaroid not that long ago either, if I'm being honest. That was over for 2.
I like to take a risk.
Take a risk?
Be bold.
Like a riverboat gambler.
Dude, that's right. I just get high on the challenge of suggesting obscure movies. Ooh, based on their cover. That works for beer and wine too. Next time, just go
100%.
buy whatever has the most interesting label. That's a guaranteed market quality.
That's the way all of, what do they call, beer connoisseurs is the word I was looking for. That's what they all say. It's all about the label. It's all about the label.
Wine too, especially.
100%. Or that Snoop Dogg's name is on it. I always find if Snoop Dogg
or Martha
is named
Stewart,
then it's quality. No,
dude, that definitely is the perfect wine to make a wine cooler, to make the mulled wine, but not to directly have it touch your mouth.
I thought you were going to say to hand to a wino in an alley is what you were going to say.
They may hand it back. I'm not sure.
They'll say, do you have any Sterno? I'd rather take my chances with that. Anyway.
Or is it turpentine and honey?
Turpentine and honey? Sounds delicious.
I'm trying to make sure that's the only thing I remember from that movie.
Just cleanse it all away. The movies I choose, I try to pick things that I've actually heard of. Or what we try to do is, if one of our listeners has a suggestion, I'll try to throw that into the rotation. But you won't get me picking randos.
Punish us. So I figure we got just as good odds if I just pick it by the title.
You may be right. Sometimes our listeners are like, I hated your review of that movie, of Spider Baby. I'm going to punish you. How about you do this one next? Anyway.
We never have seen The Frightener. Not The Frighteners, but The Terrifier.
We have not. Somebody asked me at school, they're like, hey, have you seen The Terrifier? And I thought he said Terror Fire, like it's a movie about a sentient wildfire or something. I was like, what is happening? So I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Later, he, enunciated properly. And I said, I think I've seen, and I may be wrong, I think I've seen the first one. I think Joe Bob did a little retrospective at one point. I have not seen any of the other ones. And I definitely haven't seen the one where it was like, we're releasing it unrated. I'm not doing that.
No.
That's a bridge too far.
No.
So
you don't need that.
Don't need it. Well, what do we say? It's like we review horror movies, but the goal is it should be fun. That's the goal we're striving towards. Fun.
Yes. That's why our goal is to avoid Eli Roth.
Generally speaking. And 100%. I've told you, and I've said it 1,000 times, there are people who will die on the Rob Zombie hill. And I'm like, can't die there with you. I got to move on down the road.
Yeah, he's on down.
He's on just like Diana Ross said, I got to ease on down the road. 100%. Why don't you give us your 30-second synopsis of Giallo?
A depressed detective works somehow in Torino. Former appears to be FBI, who's secretly investigating that there's a serial killer loose who gets people in taxis. But, we don't want the press or anyone to find out about it, so we're going to keep it a secret. And it's always beautiful girls. So he teams up with like a fake Barbara Crampton, and they decide to solve the crime. This is one of the few times where you actually have a detective trying to solve the crime. Blah, 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 water tower. He's Giallo because he has kidney failure.
Jaundice.
He's an orphan. He dies at the end. It's stupid and horrible. And big reveal, the most horrible part of it is the killer is played by Adrian Brody for no apparent reason. The worst part of the whole mother effer.
Yes.
Why, Kevin? Why was that a choice?
I literally think the dual role by Adrian Brody was just meant to fuck with the audience. That's the only thing I can come up with. It's meant to confuse us.
It's clearly Adrian. The minute you hear the murderer's voice, you know it's Adrian Brody.
100%.
Even before you see who it is.
Yes. 100%. I literally texted you in the middle of the movie.
So effed up.
Right.
It's such a shitty makeup job. And his voice is Adrian Brody. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be Italian, right?
Well, he's doing okay. I gotta. This is the most meandering.
I'm talking about the killer now. I mean, Adrian Brody is an American,
right? There's a lot about this movie that makes no GD sense. But before we get there, I have to apologize to our audience because I told everybody to watch this on something called Favesome, which does not exist. Favesome is not. It's Fossum. It's awesome with an F, is what it is.
Oh my
That's
God, and it's the only place you can find it.
That should have been our warning.
At the dark web. Here 100%. In the dark web.
So it was on Fossum, which I guess means films that are awesome. Maybe that's what they're going for. Unclear.
Oh God,
Unclear.
So many of these weird free sites. I don't understand it at all.
So it's called Giallo, which is Italian for yellow. It's also the name of this genre of film that was primarily from Italy and usually saw it around the 70s. I think that was like the birthplace of Giallo. I may be mistaken on that. But they're kind of these
late 60s, 70s, early 80s. Or if you're Argento, still rolling
still
it out.
doing it. You're still pounding that drum. And it seems like it was like the heyday, like the peak was in the 70s, and it still kind of was petering on through the 80s. But honestly, other than Argento, and maybe I'm wrong, I could look it up, but I'm not going to. It seems like he's the one kind of carrying that torch for this genre. And they're kind of like police, like chase. It's the cops or somebody, some investigative type is chasing a killer. There's
Like
a
a
killer
thriller.
on the loose. Right. It's a thriller. It's a thriller is what we call it. A police thriller is kind of
Like
what
a
we're going
trashy police thriller. You got to. I think the Giallo reminds me of like our yellow journalism, and so it's like a trashy, violent detective story.
I think-
They're all super violent,
correct.
but in a fun way.
But in a fun way, ideally. I think it was called Giallo because that was the color of the pages of these kind of dime store novels, these cheap
Right.
paperbacks. That's kind of what they were going for. So that's why it's called Giallo. It's saying, hey, you may have forgotten about this genre, but here's another example. Now, in the course of this movie, they also try to say, well, another reason we're calling Giallo is that the killer is often referred to as Giallo because later it's revealed he's got jaundice and he's got kind of yellow skin. But most of the time, you can't really tell because he's like in a darkened like boiler room. So it's like, I'm just taking your word for it. He's yellow.
And
Unclear.
that jaundice, that is basically French for yellow.
Is that true?
That's why you don't say yellow jaundice, because that's yellow.
They call it yellow.
Yellow.
Oh God, this movie. You'd never seen this before, correct?
Oh no. It just popped up somewhere. I think again, the ticker talker. First it leads me to Kneecap, and before that me to Giallo.
I had obviously never seen this before. But you figure Adrian Brody, two-time Academy Award winner.
Real actor. I was like, this has got to be good. And then I saw the 1-star review. I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit is right. We talked about this. There's a killer on the loose who's abducting beautiful young ladies, but they're also like foreigners to the city of Torino, right? They're like, we meet like this Japanese lady who's in town because it's a tourist season or something. She's the first one we meet. Then there's a model type who's also like people are getting abducted, and it's the sister of this model who goes to the cops in Italy, and the chief detective, the only detective who's investigating all this shit, is American, non-Italian Adrian Brody.
And it's very bizarre because the lady goes to the office and he won't take her report. And then the pizza guy arrives. Yes. And then suddenly he will follow the pizza guy.
Okay. Unclear.
Oh,
later in the movie, they kind of Enzo. Adrian Brody's name is Enzo. Later they established he was in fact born. Go ahead.
Yeah, they established that. Well, even though he's very New York, what was he? Born in Italy, raised in Italy.
Born in Italy. His mom, who I think was a brothel owner, unclear.
Oh my God.
His mom, who's a brothel owner, was murdered by a client or just the butcher down the street, unclear. When he was
the above.
When he was like 13, he moved to New York and stayed there through his formative years, became a detective in New York, and then at some point decided to move back. But what's amazing about his performance is at least once, if not multiple times, somebody's speaking Italian and he turns to the cop next to him and goes, "What is he saying?" It's like, what? You're a detective. You lived in Italy for your first 13 years. Hopefully you picked up a little bit of the native language while you were there.
And right? Why would they hire you to investigate crimes in Italy if you spoke no Italian?
Unclear. It is so...
There's a lot of things unclear.
Right, and again, he's Enzo, but he sounds just like Adrian Brody. Regular Adrian Brody voice. He's not playing like, I'm really Italian. He's not doing that. He's not that.
No, what he's doing, is he's talking like this in this kind of weird monotone whisper voice all the time, never gets excited, nothing interesting happens. I was going to kill myself.
I think we're supposed to think that because
he has depression.
Yes, he 100% because of the death of his mother, and now he's in his like basement. It's this big room, and he's the only detective in there, and it's just imagery, like photographs of just people murdered all over the walls. And he
lives there. There was a bed in there, so he lives at the police station, and no one comes and sees him, and they just pay him a salary to sit there and just, be rogue, I guess.
But he's investigating these murders. He's investigating, and then later there's a reveal about him that it is freaking bonkers. The chief of police, when he was 13, stumbles upon young Adrian Brody murdering the man who murdered his mom with like a steak knife, stabbing him. Chief of police like, oh, that's peculiar. No repercussions of any kind. And in fact, hires him to be the detective.
I explained what happened, and the chief was like, I understand.
This is Italy.
And just took care of it.
It was easy peasy. No worries. We're good.
That was like Boardwalk Empire or something. They're like, that's all right.
It was Alice, Sweet Alice.
There will be a time when I come to you, and you will owe me a favor.
Could be. Maybe that's what it came down to. God damn it. So they keep cutting to, here's the killer's lair. And there's the Japanese woman is on the stretcher. And there's the model bound on the ground. And you hear this voice coming through the room and it just goes, hello. It's like the craziest voice. And I'm like, I literally laughed the first time you hear the killer's voice because it was such a ridiculous voice. And then you're listening to it and I'm like, that's Adrian Brody doing a crazy voice.
Yeah. The minute I was like, that's fucking Adrian Brody.
Yes.
I wish this was a case of like split personality, but sadly, it was not. I'm like,
it was not.
It's clearly Adrian Brody. It's clearly his voice.
Yes.
Are they working together? No, coincidence.
Yes.
Why would you have him play both roles if there's zero connection?
This is not his evil twin. This is not the dark side of his personality. This wasn't
not
even
a Manitou that escaped from his back. This is not the substance. This is none of the above.
Identical cousins, nothing.
Cousins, identical cousins, nothing.
Nothing.
There's no such thing as an identical cousin, by the way.
I beg to differ. I saw the Parent Trap. Well, actually, they were twins. They were twins. But what was the Patty Duke show was identical cousins. That's a deep pull. That show wasn't even on TV when I was a kid. I think I watched Nick at Night or something, and the Patty Duke show slid in. Identical cousins. That makes a lot of goddamn sense. Anywho. God damn it. And the more you see, at one point, the killer comes in. There's the model on the floor bound, going, oh no. And he dumps out the lady off the stretcher. And I was like, you can see that's Adrian Brody's face. Yes. Like, he put a little shadow, and I'm like, that's Adrian Brody.
You can't hide that schnoz.
You can't hide it.
They added like a quadruple chin. I was like, what are they doing? What are they doing? It made no sense.
I literally texted you in the middle of the movie and I said, if the killer's not Adrian Brody, I don't know what I'll do. Because it's so obviously Adrian Brody. Like, you're
my God.
But you're like, there's going to be some moment, because like I believe Argento's done this sort of thing before, right? Where you think the reveal is the police investigator is also the killer, like a Tommy Lee Jones in The Eyes of Laura Mars, where it's just like, oh, hi, I'm actually the killer too, kind of thing.
Right.
And that never happened.
In The Eyes of Laura Mars, there wasn't another Laura Mars, but with a double chin, pretending to be an entirely different person.
There wasn't another Laura Mars.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. Unlike this little film.
No, they gave him long, like, stringy, curly hair. This is the evil Adrian Brody now. They put on a crazy, like, Halloween mask that made him look like Strega Nona, right?
Stregonona.
And he's doing a crazy voice.
And he's like muttering broken Italian in his Adrian Brody voice.
Correct. Like, frankly, a borderline offensive Italian caricature.
Mamma mia. It was Chef Boyardee with stringy hair and a double chin.
He walked in at one point and said, "What's the matter, you?" And I was like, "Get out of here."
What's the matter, you? Gotta know respect.
That's right. I couldn't believe it. I was very offended as a non-Italian person.
As a non-Italian,
100%.
I'm offended for the Italians.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
It was god-awful. I mean, there's, as we often say in these films, there were so many good ways to go. My first impression, I'm like, ooh, maybe this is like an X-Files thing. This is like the
like
rip-off of Gillian Anderson. Well, it could be, something like they're going to team up to solve...
I could see a Manitou type situation, like you said, like the hidden rage deep inside of him. There's a movie called The Brood.
He has an unexplained scar on his back.
Yeah, now it's like Basket Case, where his malformed conjoined twin pops off at night, like Quato from Total Recall, just jumps off him and runs off and abducts women because of his own issues. But no, dude, none of that was there.
You've been selling your pitches to the wrong people. You got to go overseas. I feel anything. You got to get your, a pitch stack or whatever, and we need to send it to Italia.
Right, 100%. Clearly, they're like, we'll do anything at this stage of the game.
We are Hollywood. We need to go to Italy. We can do this Giallo thing. We will both summer intern with Argento. We'll spitball crazy ideas.
Summer intern. Yes. I'm sure he's just sign right up. Come on over.
That's right. No one has ever approached me with these ideas. We need to come up with some plans for him.
Absolutely.
Before it's too late. Let's go.
One thing that this movie was missing is that traditional Argento flair of the horrible dubbing. That's what I need. That's, you know what I mean? We talked about this with Oculari Neri or whatever that movie was called, Dark Glasses.
Yeah.
where it's that same kind of thing. It's like, if it doesn't have the horrible dubbing, it's losing something for me. As far
Dude,
as
it's all AI now. Now it's not like, go ahead.
This was made in 2009. It was
never Godzilla AI.
Why couldn't it be?
They should do it on purpose.
God damn it. Why not? So the sister is constantly like showing up at the crime scenes going, "Are you going to investigate? Have you found my sister yet?" And honestly, Adrian Brody is not giving a whole lot of confidence, right? It doesn't seem like he knows what the hell he's doing.
No. He has no idea what he's doing. He's the worst. Did you notice that Linda looked like Patsy Stone from Ab Fab?
First of all, who's Linda? Are you talking? Is that the sister?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not notice that. No beehive. What are you talking?
No, but it just needed a French twist. To me, I was like, she looks just like Patsy.
Okay.
It'd be like when Patsy was not hanging out, she was off solving crimes with Adrian Brody.
He needs all the help he could get. 100%.
That would have been better.
I
wrote down the killer is from New York too, because you can hear his fucking accent.
I always talk about how if you really want a truly offensive accent by a white American actor, you should drop everything and go see Rod Steiger in The Specialist, which was the Stallone movie where Steiger's playing like a Cuban mafia don.
Oh,
it's worth the price of admission just for that. Anyway.
Worse than or better than Jared Leto in House of Gucci.
Can we talk about how every time I think Jared Leto is out of my life forever, then I see another movie where he's the star? Right? It's like not just like he's the fifth lead, but the goddamn star. It's like he was in Morbius a couple years ago. I'm like, clearly that's the stake in the heart. No, he's in the new Tron movie as the titular character, Tron Ares. Very upsetting. I will still go see it though.
I know you will. That's the tragedy.
It is a tragedy. The ending was I literally had to rewind it because I'm like, this is the stupidest ending I have ever seen in cinema. In cinema, going back to, the cave paintings, as far as I'm concerned, it is the stupidest shit that I've ever goddamn seen. The killer is accidentally knocked off the roof and plunges to his death when he was about to tell, I'll tell you what your sister is. Ah! That's it. So he's dead. Adrian Brody's like, don't worry, I know where she is. They go to investigate.
He's like, he was never going to tell you anyway.
He says, I know where to go. Smash cut, the cops are looking at the place and they just kind of shrug. So she's not there? Nope, not there at all. I guess we'll never find her.
Okay, I guess it's over.
Smash cut to the parking garage. And there's just a cop walking around. I don't think he's even associated with the case. He might just be a security guard, for all I know. Walking by.
Matter.
And there's the guy, the killer's Fiat or whatever it is, sitting there. And the girl's in the trunk, still bound with like a gag in her mouth. Alive. And she's kicking the thing. And eventually the guy's like, I'm hearing something. And he turns over and there's like blood pouring out of the bottom of the Fiat. And I'm like, if there's that much blood, she's already dead. She is exsanguinated.
Another call.
You might as well keep walking at that stage of the game. And that's how it ends. So presumably she's rescued by an unsuspecting security guard. But what is this? Why would this be how you'd want to end this? It makes no sense. Anyway.
Do you remember the name of the killer?
Just Giallo. People, like kids on the playground called him Giallo.
He has a real name.
Are you quizzing me? I do not remember his name. What is it?
Damn it. Talk. Because I got to go Google it.
You don't need to go. Look, IMDb, you pull it up. I think I got it right here. This is good pod. Because you're obsessed with knowing what the killer's name is. So Adrian Brody plays the dual role of Inspector Enzo Avolfi, and then it just says Giallo. But you're right, he has another name. Giallo. What is Giallo's name? Now I'm just Googling this because you've done this to me. What is Giallo's name? No, this isn't going to pull up anything. Yeah, that's worthless. I'm not going to look this up. We got to move on. We got to move on with our lives, Aaron. Any last thoughts?
Because there's a reason that I'm asking you this.
Why? What could possibly be the reason?
Because I looked up what the name means.
What does it mean?
Yellow fox.
Well, his name's not really Giallo. That's just what the kids called him.
No, but his first name, and this is why it's good.
Flavio Volpe.
So
Volpe means fox.
Means fox. Flavio means yellow or golden-haired.
Is that true? Are you making up shit?
Yeah, I looked it up. I was like, Volpe, because foxes are tricky and sneaky. So he's the golden fox or the yellow fox. So what is Adrian Brody's name in this? I wonder if that also has a meaning.
I told you. His name was Inspector Enzo Avolfi, which sounded a lot like Volpe, if I'm being honest. Enzo Avolfi. Enzo's just a name.
Well, so is Flavio, but they have roots.
I don't believe it. Flavio Volpe. So
the surname is Germanic and it means wolf.
Hungry like the wolf. Do you have anything else for Giallo, Aaron?
Flavio name meaning golden or yellow haired. It comes from the ancient Roman family of Flavius. It's from the Latin root, means yellow or blonde. So one's a wolf and one's a fox.
Do wolves hunt foxes?
I guess if they're hungry.
Do you have anything else for Giallo? Any other notes?
See here. I did enjoy the part where she's chasing after him, going, "You so selfish shit." He was just saying gibberish.
I don't think I remember that scene.
You.
There was a scene where the girl basically almost escaped. There's like a busy street right next to the water tower.
Why doesn't she climb the hill to escape? Why is she climbing the top of the water tower like in what was that movie that we saw where they're basically running around for no effing real reason? Oh, it was the one with the tunnel under the Airbnb.
The tunnel
Malignant.
under the air.
Not Malignant, the other one.
Oh, I can't. As above, so below. I don't remember anymore.
No, the Airbnb in Detroit where there's like
Barbarian.
100%. Remember Barbarian? They race to the water tower. They're knocking chunks off each other. The old mama keeps coming back. That's what this reminded me of. The water tower. I'm like, why are you going up the fucking water tower? Climb up the hill. You're free. You stupid. Some people in movies.
Yep. It's a thing. Shall we go behind the scenes, Aaron? Or do you have anything else?
Let's go.
Here we go. Behind the scenes. Actor Adrian Brody sued the film's producers and financial backers when they failed to pay him his full wage for appearing in the film. After successfully blocking the film's release in court, the makers eventually paid him his outstanding money.
They paid him they offered him almost $2 million, which has to be why he has to do a dual role, because they couldn't afford any other actors.
I'm telling you, the only reason he's playing a dual role is to mess with the audience. So that the audience would go like, that's obviously Adrian Brody. The inspector must be the killer. No, it's a totally unrelated character, also played by Adrian Brody.
It's a terrible idea, and you may be right. And oh, now I can't remember. Go ahead.
Fair enough. Vincent Giallo was originally set to play the role of Yellow, but dropped out after his ex-fiancée Asia Argento was cast in the lead role. Ironically enough, she later quit the project because she was pregnant and was replaced by Emmanuel Seigner. There you go.
Womp womp. Isn't that interesting?
It's very interesting. This is Dario Argento's first theatrical directorial feature, which isn't based on an original script by himself. However, the script was written specifically for him. How about that?
Didn't work.
Didn't work.
Dario, you got to write your own stuff. Let's go back to basics.
Adrian Brody replaced Ray Liotta. How about that? No?
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, it couldn't have been worse.
It absolutely could not have been worse. At least he's Italian.
I just feel that Ray Liotta began and ended with Goodfellas. And then
I agree.
There was really nothing after that.
I agree.
And I don't know why, but it's kind of like Chaz Palminteri. Like, I feel like it was Jade. He was really good. He was hot. Super hot for like 5 minutes.
I can't believe you went right to Jade. I thought, what about Usual Suspects?
I always forget he's on that.
He peaked with Jade, starring opposite David Caruso. Good Lord. That's another curse, because David Caruso gave up his actually steady job because he was going to be a big star and did Jade, and then didn't do anything else. That's where I get the term hysterical blindness from. Hysterical blindness. That comes from Jade. We didn't talk about this. There's a scene where they do kind of a montage of Giallo like killing the previous victims. And they show this, I guess she's supposed to be like a Russian tourist. She's abducted. And it cuts to like a hammer, like popping her on the head. And then it cuts away and it cuts back to it. And suddenly it's the crappiest mannequin head. It was like it didn't. It was some kind of weird mutant head that suddenly was there after a couple whacks.
I would have to say that was pretty disgusting. But they got to throw in a good one in there. I mean, it's no getting your head popped by a bus. Not even a long shot.
You're right about that. Let's look at the cast and crew, shall we?
Let's go.
Director, Dario Argento. You know him from such things as Bird with the Crystal Plumage,
That's
which
not
we have
why they
not.
remember.
I have not seen that one. That's that. I think
You
people
watched part
think.
of that. We were on a podcast to discuss it.
No, we were not. we talked
You're out of
about.
your mind.
We've talked about Cat o' Nine
Three Flies
Tails.
on Gray Velvet, Cat o' Nine Tails, and the Bird with the Crystal Plumage.
No,
No?
you just decided to talk about the Bird with the Crystal Plumage for some reason. Just threw it in there. I've never seen it.
Stop your mouth from talking.
He did Bird with the Crystal Plumage. He did Deep Red, Tenebrae in 1982, and Phenomena with Jennifer Connelly in 1985.
I don't think I've seen Phenomena.
I have not either. But we got to give it a little distance after watching this one, I would say. Adrian Brody.
Or we have to change our titles to we review horror, the occasional sci-fi, and Giallo. It's
Giallo.
the Kevin and Aaron Giallo podcast.
You can sing the theme song. Adrian Brody played Inspector Enzo Avolfi.
Shameful.
You know him from The Pianist in 2002, The Grand Budapest
I think
Hotel.
he was playing with his pianist instead of learning his lines on this one.
That title is problematic. I find myself often saying The Pianist when I mean something else. He was in Detachment in 2011, which I'm unfamiliar with, and he was in The Brutalist in 2024, which I did not care for. How about that?
I didn't see any of those. Maybe I don't even know who Adrian Brody is.
Maybe you don't. Oh, this is hilarious.
I was all excited to see The Brutalist till I realized it was not about the art movement. It was some made up shit.
It is. You think it's like somebody's like true story. It's not. It's all made up. It's a fictional character.
Pooh.
Anyway.
And 3 hours of fiction.
3 hours. Emmanuel Senier played Linda. You know her from such things as Bitter Moon in 1992.
Unfamiliar.
Frantic in 1988. She was in Venus in Fur in 2013, which I'm unfamiliar with.
That sounds like an indie band from the 90s.
Maybe it is. Love My Way by Venus in Fur. And she was in The Ninth Gate. That was a Johnny Depp movie from 1999.
I may have seen that at some point. Not that I have any recollection. But
I don't
that
either.
Sound familiar.
And her character's called The Girl.
Like, is this like the?
Yes, it's just like that. God damn it. Elsa Pataki played Celine, the model who was abducted. You know her from Fast and the Furious 6 in 2013.
No.
She was in something called Interceptor in 2022.
Unfamiliar.
She was in Fast 5 in 2011.
Missed that.
That's the fifth of the Fast and the Furious movies, which I like her in, if I'm being honest. She was in something called 12 Strong in 2018. I'm unfamiliar with what that is.
Interesting.
One thing I know about her is that she's married to Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor, and they've been married for several years. She was dating Adrian Brody when they were working on this movie. They dated for like 3 years, and she dumped him for Chris Hemsworth. So there you go. I think that's about it. Let's look at the rating, shall we?
Let's go.
Giallo on Rotten Tomatoes currently does not have a score on the tomato meter because it has only one review. So not enough
shocking. That is shocking.
Do you know what the audience gave
it made $35,000? It is shocking.
Fair. Do you know what the audience gave it?
A 1.
14%.
Yeah.
14%. If I go to critics, there are 0 top critics and only 1 non-top critic. Let's see
what old homie says. Let's go.
Well, Patrick Kavanaugh of The Wolfman Cometh says, there's a reason why the Giallo genre largely dried up. though Dario Argento still manages to elevate the material in his contemporary take on the concept. 3 out of 5.
This was not elevated. That's bullshit.
It's madness. So the only thing I can say is
a free pass is what that review was.
100%. 100%. Our only hope, our only salvation is to talk to our in-house movie critic, AI Rex Reed.
AI Rex Reed coming to our rescue.
Giallo is a colorless mess where Adrian Brody plays both hero and villain with all the subtlety of a Halloween mask, proving that even Dario Argento can trip over his own shadows. Boom.
Fair.
Aaron, what is your rating for Giallo?
My rating is Adrian Brody should have just never released this. And I heard that they released it with not his name, but with like some weird anagram, fake version of his name.
Let me tell you what it is. I saw that. Dude. I was going to mention it. Yeah, it's well. He sued because they didn't pay him his money, and I guess there was all sorts of bone of contention.
They owed him an additional like $640,000.
That's not really, a small amount.
He phoned that shit in. He phoned this in. This was right up there with the marvelous acting of Keanu Reeves and Dracula. The only two things that can compare.
Adrian Brody is credited as Byron Deidre, which is an anagram of his name. There you go.
Well, why don't they just say my name is Shithead?
Please do. What is your rating, Aaron?
My rating is Adrian. If I won the lottery, I would give you the 640. So this could still be Frozen because it is shit. It is boring. It's ridiculous. I mean, I think I would like this better if there was another killer, but really, there's nothing interesting, nothing exciting happens. You come to Argento, besides someone getting a ball peen hammer in the head, you're looking for a certain something, and none of that is here. It is the most boring detective movie I've ever seen in my life. I'm giving it a 1.5. Yeah, everyone involved should lower their head in shame. Shame.
I think, honestly, the fact that Adrian Brody plays a dual role for no reason.
Double shame.
Well, that's the only thing that's remotely interesting about this movie. If a different actor played it, it would be an absolute zero. It would have been like, take a nap, because there's no point in staying up for this one.
I think you might be onto something. My 1.5 is all for how fucked up Adrian Brody looks and how poorly he described himself as supposedly an unrelated person.
He didn't do his own makeup, Aaron. He didn't say, "Look, I got this."
Sure? Are you sure?
Fair. The best thing, there's a scene where it's like young Adrian. It's not. Well, I guess it is Adrian, where it's young Giallo on the playground being teased for, Giallo.
Yeah, and it looks like it's like 1943. How old is Adrian Brody supposed to be?
He's young and not. I mean, the kid looked kind of swarthy, if I'm being honest. He didn't look like he had any jaundice. He looked like, and he didn't look weird. Like the adult killer literally had like a big old fake nose and like rubbery skin and shit. The kid just looked like a normal child. You're trying to figure out why he was being teased. So unclear.
By the bad orphans.
By the bad goddamn orphans. Anywho, I might give it 2 out of 5. I don't need to watch it again. It's not very good at all. So
it is not at all.
It's a sad situation. Any last thoughts for Giallo?
No, I'm already moved on trying to find my quotes for our fan base.
Perfect. So, thank you very much. You can see us across the social media landscape. We're on Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram. We're on TikTok. You can also watch us on YouTube if you want to see our beautiful and attractive faces. You can also email us at the podcast that wouldn't die at Gmail. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere the finer podcasts are available. So don't forget to like, share, rate, and review, won't you?
Won't you please?
We didn't mention it, but we also, this last Sunday, we were guests on the Uncut Gems podcast discussing the Stuart Gordon H.P. Lovecraft classic From Beyond.
How would Stuart Gordon have done this film?
It would have been more entertaining.
Jeffrey
that's for sure.
Combs as the detective. Oh my God, wouldn't this be great? Oh, Stuart's dead, isn't he?
He might be. He might be. And everybody else is as old as the hills. We usually have like a few weeks before we actually release these episodes. So you might have to go back in time a little bit to track down the Uncut Gems episode that we're on. So it's worth it. Check it out. Aaron, what is your social media situation?
I got me some media. I'm on Artsy and First Dibs, Aaron Doherty. Let me see here. If you're in the B-Town on November 7th, I'll have some work over at Dagny's. Swing by!
You might need to... What is B-Town for people who do not know? Boston?
Yeah.
Beirut? Brasilia?
It's Brasilia. I'm in Central California, here in Bakersfield, California. I figure, let me explain. Let me lean forward here and explain my meaning. If you live in Boston, you're not swinging by because you don't know what Dagny's is. Fair. If you're local, you know what B-Town is. If you don't know what B-Town is, probably not driving hours to come and see my art hanging over at one of the local watering holes.
Fair enough.
How about that? How about that, Kevin?
Cash me outside. How about that? What is, as you know, we like to share our friends' thoughts and feelings across the interwebs. Aaron, what's the street saying?
The streets are talking about Sleepwalker. Perhaps you remember that. Sleepwalker 1992. Scotty Mack says, not the corn on the cob. Shook 5 said, he didn't even hit anything vital. Richard Roberts says, death by corn. Spike posted a picture and says, corn on the cob. And then Dante Adams.
I like that, actually.
And he posted a picture of a comedian. And Dante Adams gave us 1,000 laughy faces.
Oh, perfect. Boom. That is a funny moment. That's from our WTF video series that you can see anywhere. Anywhere you on social media, I guess, basically. So
anywhere on social media.
Anywhere. Any
Truth
goddamn
Social?
where.
Is it there?
It's only available on Truth Social. 100%. Exclusively. Sweet Jesus. Next week, we're doing the horror classic Jack's Back, starring James Spader. How about that?
Wait a minute. Jack's Back? Isn't that the old ad for Jack in the Box when they brought the clown back?
Could be. Unclear. This is from 1988.
Get some tiny tacos at Jack in the Box.
Jack's Back is referring to Jack the Ripper in this case. So, good stuff.
Not the clown from Jack in the Box?
Sadly, no. Now, how would one watch Jack's Back? That's an excellent question.
Is it on Feverfew or whatever?
It's on Feverfew, 100%. It's on Prime Video with subscription. It's on Fubo with subscription. It's on Roku, Hoopla for free. It's on the CW app, which I've never seen any of the movies we do. So, tell people to go to the CW app, which is free.
Does the CW still exist?
The app does.
The app does. It's just floating in the atmosphere with old reruns of Buffy.
Pretty much.
Party of 5.
Pluto TV, Shout TV, Plex.
Shout TV.
Fossum. There you go. All for free. Free or free with ads or free with a subscription. So you have free multiple with some
other effing subscription, blah, blah, blah.
So check out Jack's back and let us know what you think. Send any favorite scenes, favorite quotes, comments, and questions, and we may talk about it on the show. So,
Sounds like a threat.
Thank you very much, and be well.
Be well, children.